Actively I'm tracking apparitions in my veins. Check my swing, ghost writers, I'm a lefty. Y'all brag about your flow, I'm ghost riding on a jet ski. Don't test me. Switch hitter, Mickey Mantle in his prime. In the Bronx, dropping bomb after bomb like a B-29 on a Nagasaki dome. No tattoos, I bear arms. Spill your sake on these balls. EARs like Tawagachi. Hip strackle Kawasaki. Spin your wheel, that's Yamasaki. Do the math, I'm Fibonacci. Use zeros, I'm the one. One trigger, 2 bullets, 3 millimeters. 5 bullies lay dead. That means 2 I snap with a strap. That's no cap.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free sexy chicken. Yeah, that happened. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back with our reaction series. So today, man, listen, today is a special day. It's a very special day because this is a song and an artist I've been trying to get to, and we are finally going to do it. It's none other than Dan Bull and his song, Civilization. Now, Dan has even reached out to me on Twitter, guys. We talked for a little bit, and yeah, I'm excited to finally make some history and do some Dan Bull on the channel. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is one that has been on my list for a while, guys, and yeah, let's take the deep dive. But before we go any further, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to the song in the intro. If you guys like that, yes, I'm a rapper myself. There's a good chance you like my breakdowns, the way that I think about music. You'll probably like my music as well. I have an album, Chaos Theory. You can stream it on all platforms now and support the channel directly, guys. I will put that link below. Also, I got to give a huge shout out to the Patreon and the Patreon family and the community that we're building on there. You know we keep it lit. But anyways, you know what we're here for. Dan Bull, step up to the plate. Let's see what you got.
We learn to band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together, man develop language letters.
Hey, wow, that flow comes in. Band together and endeavor. I love how it goes up on the and sounds and carries that cadence over. Smooth, multi-syllable rhyme schemes to start us off with, man. Complex like the civilizations of mankind. Hey, we're here for this.
To band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together, man develop language letters, an incredible advantage getting plans together. But we're
language letters. To get hands together, wow, to make language fit into that rhyme scheme. That's clever writing, Dan.
Develop language letters, an incredible advantage getting plans together. But would we stand the test of time against the planet's reckless climate and its angry weather? Spread the sails and head west against the gales. And storms aboard Norse longboats with decks as dense as nails. Our aim was riding waves and finding, claiming strange horizons. Invading islands, native population slain with violence. Enslaved and made to aim skyward, think of bigger things. Sphinxes, pyramids, raise them high in the name of different kings.
Wow. This goes in, man. I love how we start. And we start on the concept of language, and it feels like as we progress we're going to move on just through the timeline of sort of global history and look in on different points. So one of the first points that we look in on is the Vikings and exploring and raiding, and then he ties it in with the theme of violence and then slavery, and he carries that violence over and the slavery to some of mankind's greatest achievements, even to this day, the pyramids and the sphinxes and how they were built, and those were built through forced slave labor and through a lot of brutal violence as well and conflict. Interesting. Where are we going, Dan? Where are we going?
Guy would think of bigger things, sphinxes, pyramids, raise them high in the name of different kings. The different things we've held sacred divine through places and times, the range of supplications and rites through.
Wow, he's pushing, man, that flow right there. He's really pushing the tempo by just pushing past the beat, man, and pushing past some of those percussion hits right here. Check
different things we've held sacred divine through places and times, the range.
Sacred divine through places and time, supplications and rights. I mean, woo!
Supplications and rights through ages we find. Nations arise as old.
What a great condensed scheme. And then this little electric guitar is about to come in on the production too. I like.
Places and times, the range of supplications and rights through ages we find. Nations arise as old civilizations crumble to dust, becoming strangers in time, waiting to die. Replaced in the night, the day breaks in the light. Changes illuminating newer human faces as fights rage. The human race is facing the might of righteous states who would write the history books, even if it took a knife's blade to find the right page.
Wow, that right there really makes me think of the quote, "History is written by the winners." And now we start touching a little bit on the rise and the concept of the nation state and how they would do anything it takes to write history, to transcribe it. And it's so true. History is not written by the losers.
Would write the history history books, even if it took a knight's blade to find the right page. Sengoku Jidai, men offered to die for the
Sengoku Jidai. Wasn't that the period of brutal and bloody conflict in Japan for the Tokugawa dynasty rose, wasn't it? I think so. I'm not as well learned on my Japanese history.
Find the right page. Sengoku Jidai, men offered to die for the honor of a warrior's life. The sun's coming and we're watching it rise. As a new era's here, it's as solid as iron. Pull the tongues from the fire, strike the hammer to the anvil. Craft a weapon to bring an enemy to a standstill. The blacksmith is the wizard that gives us these powers. Devour enemies leaping down from the siege towers.
Wow. The blacksmith is the wizard that gives us these powers. Again, I'm seeing this theme of violence throughout. And we do have a very violent history of mankind. And now what's connecting that violence is the weaponry. So as civilization advances, basically the ways in which we can kill people and commit horrible, atrocious acts has been advanced as well. And I never thought of painting the words in a way so that you think of a blacksmith as a wizard empowering mankind. That's a very poetic, deep line to write.
That gives us these powers, devour enemies leaping down from the siege towers.
These powers, siege towers. I mean, at minimum, he's doing 3-syllable rhymes. Sometimes he'll get up to 4. Sometimes he'll get up to 5. Very complex rhyme schemes that he's carrying throughout. Very advanced writing.
That gives us these powers, devour enemies leaping down from the siege towers. The better the tech is, the lesser the effort to wreck it. The less time to see the eye.
The better the tech is, the less of the effort to wreck it. Ooh, nice little speed of pace there.
Towers, the better the tech is, the less of the effort to wreck it.
Yes.
The less time to see the eyes and feel sympathetic. Never regrets it. A true knight never stays a true blade, never says touche, but would forever lay in blue rays of weathered glades to demonstrate his never-ending dedication to the crusade. Reformation through flame.
Reformation through flame in the knight's way. And what was it? There's some really good lines right here. So talking about weaponry and how you can kill someone at a long range now and you don't have to look in their eyes. Whereas before, when it's just blades and knives and those things, it's got a very human connection. And even now in today's world with drones and drone strikes, I mean, you take away that human element. So do you appreciate the taking of a life the same? It's so inhuman doing such a human thing, committing murder, essentially killing someone else. Wow. I mean, we're really diving into some of these concepts now.
Towers, the better the tech is, the less of the effort to wreck it. The less time to see the eyes and feel sympathetic, never regrets it. A true knight never stays a true blade.
That's the line I like. A true knight never stays a true blade. Wow. That's poetry right there. That's deep.
Never says touche, but
never says touche, never says well done, because you can't. I mean, you don't get a chance. If you lose, that's it. There's no, oh, well played, well done. You know, this is life or death hanging in the balance. And you have just throughout history people willing to sacrifice their lives for greater causes that they believe in. You know, sacrificing physical life for mental belief. I mean, it is crazy when you think about it. It still happens to this day. Wow.
Forever lay in blue rays of weathered glades to demonstrate his never-ending dedication to the crusade. Reformation through flame, and after the cremation is a new age. Time's quill is quick to spill its ink onto a new page.
Ooh.
The faces.
After the Reformation is a new age, and it's true. I mean, one era fades and someone else rises. One civilization falls, one empire collapses, and another one rises up to take its place with new advancements and new days.
Same as when in days gone, but brains are cultivated, thus creating the Renaissance. We're still using steel tools to stay strong, replacing blades with greater trades, pen and paper song. Faith in God is tested, hiding in the desert. Men excited, then enlightened by the scientific method.
I like that. Yeah, we are moving through different periods. Obviously, you highlighted the Crusades, and then we're moving on now to the Renaissance. And minds are enlightened, shouting out the age of enlightenment as well. And then finding God and testing religion, because religion was tested by science. All of a sudden, you have these advancements in science, and we start exploring the celestial bodies, the stars, and trying to understand our world more, and trying to understand how it came about. and why. And, you know, there's an ongoing debate between science and religion to this day, evolution versus creationism. And, you know, some people find a balance between the two. Some people say it's all or nothing between the two. But science definitely continues to advance and continues to make us ask questions about our universe. And then the desert makes me think of, you know, like Moses wandering in the desert, or even Jesus wandering in the desert as well. I wonder if that was metaphorical when he put those lines in.
It's tested hiding in the desert, men excited, then enlightened by the scientific method. Tried describing its expression by inscribing his impression when applying it to heavenly bodies that everybody reckon must have been made by a creative or a greater force. Nature's author-faced examination, never faced before. The grace of force and
Wow, and I was just talking about this, and he goes into it now. Look at this line here.
Nature's author-faced examination.
Nature's author-faced examination, never faced before. So true, because you start questioning now God and existence. Start trying to prove these things as well. That's a really well-written line. Nature's author-faced examination, never faced before. That's amazing writing, Dan.
Never faced before. The grace of horse and rider, replaced with wars and violence. Debased the laws of science, made the case for all the pious. Why is it progress always leads to loads of mess? The western region spread across the globe and coalesced. Settlers spread disease with effortless ease. Was it reckless or did it just happen inevitably? Well,
wow, now we're talking about, you know, the West exploring the new world, you know, panning out to the Far East, to Asia, panning out to the Americas as well, and spreading their culture, their religion, but also their disease. And it makes me think of a really good book that I read, Guns, Germs, and Steel. And it makes the argument of why Europe became so powerful and why these nations like Portugal, Spain, England just overpowered and OP'd a lot of the world. And it argues geography, because the way things were set up, I mean, you had just a large chunk of population that wasn't spread, that wasn't sort of spaced out like in Africa because of the geography and the climate. You know, you had tribes very spaced out. You had essentially a lot of people on top of each other. You had a lot of competition. And via that competition came the need to evolve. All of these wars and conflicts throughout European history made them advance their technology for warfare, made them advance. And with advancement of warfare technology came additional technology as well for exploration, for travel, the Industrial Revolution. But also, with all of those people being on top of each other, all that competition, immune systems were raised. A lot of diseases were spread, and Europe went through its share of plagues and diseases. But when they started to explore the world and expand, you know, they were basically more advanced with their immune systems. All they had to do was cough, and that's it. They could just wipe out civilizations, essentially. I mean, the biggest weapon that the Europeans had was disease. I mean, that just decimated peoples and populations. But a lot of geography, a lot of germs, Guns, Germs, and Steel. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. Highly recommend it, guys. If you like songs like this, which I'm really enjoying.
Spread disease with effortless ease. Was it reckless or did it just happen inevitably? Well, evidently we never can see through the lens of this century. But there's no retreating now, whether or not it was meant to be. The seven seas were sailed, navies prevailed, leaving trails of devastation in the wake as people wailed.
Oof.
A world of wonder, plunder, trading in the name of progress. But human nature's way shows we should expect no less. Oh yes, struck by the realization this is just civilization in the natal stages of industrialization.
In the natal stages of industrialization, this is civilization. This is all for progress. You know, we justified our actions in some of these atrocities that were committed in conquering other areas for the sake of progress, for the namesake of industrialization. The natal stages, as it's developing, this is just a natural course of human history. Wow. Wow.
I say that previous achievements are just child's play compared to this colossal school of thought. We set the world ablaze with fossil fuel we bought. It's an epiphany, giving us pretty much infinite energy. It's electricity. Edison, Nikola.
Wow, I love how he's really raising here. You hear the passion behind the delivery. The energy levels have escalated. We're definitely starting to crescendo more and raise the level as, you know, the stakes are raised, as the technology and development has been raised. The time period that we're in now, industrialization has carried on.
It's an epiphany, giving us pretty much infinite energy. It's electricity.
Wow.
Edison, Nikola, Tesla, different advances, giving us everything with
Edison and Tesla. And Tesla never gets enough credit. Edison always gets taught to us in history. But Tesla, man, with electrical currents and power grids and systems, he was just absolutely influential to these lights that I have shining on me as I'm talking to you guys right now.
Now whether it's engine, cinema, television or telecoms, sending a message and spreading it on these unreal frontier channels. We develop the tech and then sell it on. The real travels round with the speed of a machine gun's barrels.
Wow. Oh, that's a great double right there, Dan. The reel travels round. So like the reel of cinema. He's talking about the advancement of technology. Electricity lets us have like lets us have cinema and entertain people in a different way. But also that same reel and same technology, like the reel of a machine gun's barrel. And again, coming back to that meta theme of violence throughout human history and how the advancement of technology in one sphere that helps mankind in so many ways also destroys a lot of mankind at the same time. And look at the world wars that we're diving into now and the invention of the machine gun.
Being a beast and wisdom in the saddle. No need for cavalry. Battle superseded that with ease. Allies and
literally no need for cavalry, but also like cavalry like needing to be saved because of the advancement of technology with tanks and all that. There's just no more riding horses anymore.
Charging each other like batteries. A power
Ooh, charging each other like batteries. God, another double. Now we're getting into the wordplay.
Proceeded that with ease. Allies and axes charging each other like batteries. A power.
And I love that, like positive to negative. And we see the allies as positive. The axis is negative, and like a battery, positive to negative. I don't know if he had that in mind when he wrote that metaphor, but that definitely connects too.
Superseded that with ease. Allies and axes charging each other like batteries. A power vacuum allowing the super states to flourish. We distribute the food even if it means people are malnourished. Propaganda is the only view that you're allowed to publish, because totalitarians are well aware of how to punish, gunning down numbers.
A power vacuum was created after the world wars, especially, and European nations just were decimated. Populations were destroyed. And the power vacuum that arose was filled by the United States and by the USSR at the time. And we had the Cold War and all of that. And it's funny how he plays off the propaganda and totalitarianism. And you could argue that there was a lot of U.S. propaganda at the time as well, and a lot of state control of news and media outlets and the message that the people digest. And information is knowledge. Information is a weapon in and of itself. Interesting.
Allowed to publish, because totalitarians are well aware of how to punish, gunning down numbers countless for doubtless nothings that they've done, but that won't stop subversive insurgents from coming out with courage, using their power to the fullest, whether creativity or demonstrating general relativity.
Is that Picasso? We're celebrating some of the great arts and free thinkers that have come out.
Evidently, when we find time to be
Einstein.
Einstein, nuclear vision can reveal the precision behind the blind. Nuclear fission, despite derision, physicists decide the mission is dividing, splitting atoms till a blinding light is given, quite efficient. The divine right to mankind's plight is christened, a minor decision hijacked by politicians. But as long as they listen to the will of the people, treat all.
Wow, hijacked by politicians. And now we're getting into, again, the technological advancement of the atomic bomb, and ultimately what ended World War II with Japan and dropping it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki consequently. But those decisions made by physicists and those advancements all of a sudden are christened as mankind's greatest technological advancement and achievement. And nuclear energy, is potent and powerful. But I feel like with everything that we're highlighting, there's a balance, isn't there? There's good that comes with it, and there's evil that comes with it. And what makes it good or evil is not inherently the object or the invention itself. It's what man chooses to do with it.
Equal, we can achieve more than we've ever conceived before. Leave this poor place, please explore space. Earth, she's a small base, even more awaits. I implore great leaders to lead with all the grace of which we're capable and be the author of your fate. Band together and endeavor, clasp our hands together as our ancestors have, and stand the test of time forever.
Wow. That's quite an outro. Man, that's powerful. I love right there at the end. That's the first time we hear him use the word I. And it's almost like he finally injects himself into the rap itself. And you have this big sort of climax. And what's very interesting is that final message about the future, about looking forward and banding together as one, and Earth being a small base. This is not the end. This is not the finality of mankind. This is just the beginning. Earth. Wow, feels kind of sci-fi-y, doesn't it? But it's so true. Explore space. See what's out there. Millions of galaxies. Countless opportunity. Yeah, I can get behind a message like that. I mean, overall, I think what's really cool is to have such a complex topic in terms of you're looking at the whole tapestry of human history. And you got to decide how to connect all that and to make it connect in rhyme. And as we pointed out, very intricate rhyme schemes that he had. Very good flow patterns. And I love there were different moments when he crescendoed and he just pulled you in and he just increased the passion and the energy. And there were other times he pushed you away. It was like the waves and the timelines of history. Man, that was clever. And all connected by the advancement of technology. But as progress happens, as we saw through the different points that he pointed out, from the Crusades, even to the World War, to nuclear fission, there's positives that come with it, as well as negatives. The future is in our hands. Damn bull, you were Knox Hill certified. So hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below any other Damn Bull songs you want to see me do, or if there's other artists you want to see me check out. I try to read all of your comments, guys. I respond as much as I can, so please keep commenting and keep posting. Also, if you're here at the end of this video, obviously you're enjoying the content. Do me a favor, subscribe and notifications on. As always, it's your reminder to stay safe, to stay positive. This is Knox Hill. I'll catch you again. I'm out.